So first of all, Amy Sanderson. So tell us, why real estate?
Oh, I've always had a love for it. Going back from when I was about 12, my parents used to take me to open houses while they were getting inspiration for renovating homes, and I saw my first auction. And I've been in love with it ever since.
And how about you, Amy?
I sort of came into real estate. My father decided to open a business. I was working in hospitality at the time, and he asked me to join him. So that's sort of how it came about for me.
Wow, and so you just caught the bug from the family?
I did, yes.
Okay, so before real estate, so you were in hospitality.
Yes.
So is that, I suppose they're both customer service, aren't they, in some
They are,
ways?
exactly. So a lot of that I took with me certainly helped in the early years.
Yeah, well, interesting. And Amy, what was your background before real estate? Was there a time before real
School?
estate? Okay, that's where we get the 30 years from.
Yeah, I started working on the weekends when I was in year 10, just so I could get a feel for it and see whether I liked it. And then, of course, I got the bug big time. And
Wow, you truly are. It's in your blood, absolutely. Both of you, really. So your families have influenced you along the way, which is interesting. And, of course, Amy, you're a mother of two yourself now.
Yes.
So do you think that family tradition's going to keep going
I'm
to the
hoping
third generation?
I'm hoping so. My daughter's quite fond of putting sold stickers on boards, so that's obviously hopefully heading in that direction.
So you've both applied discipline in some way to get to where you are. So how does discipline come to life in your life?
I'm really, really disciplined. I have a very strong belief that I try and design each responsibility that I have to work without me, which means that, I have to create workflows where things happen on remote control. And the reason I want to do that is that I never want a business to revolve around me. I want it to revolve around processes within the business so that if I'm not there, if I got sick or I went on holidays, things still work and we're still delivering the customer service that's needed.
And then you play a fantastic supporting role to making sure that the systems are sort of able to function and are able to achieve what
Absolutely.
you said.
And so in my role, it's about sharing that with all the offices that we have so that they can also set up the same sort of systems.
Because knowledge really empowers, and I think when people feel they've got the freedom to make those systems their own, you get a really fantastic team. Is that your experience too?
Yeah, look, I'm a little bit different, I guess, in what I do, because even though I'm a business owner, I'm predominantly a salesperson.
Yes.
So I pretty much run most of the sales for both of our offices. But the discipline does come into that too. If you want to work at an elite level and be a top performer and maintain sort of that pipeline, then you have to be very structured in your day-to-day activities.
Does the discipline come down to numbers, or how does it relate back to your personal life as well? Or are you both more organic in your personal lives?
Good asking me that. Look, you really need to be structured. That's the thing. So I work 6 days a week, but also to allocating time, like family time. So working around children's activities and that sort of thing. And I think that's why real estate's so good, because it can be quite flexible in that respect. You can book appointments around your personal time. But working on sort of maintaining listings in a database and that sort of thing, what I do is I try and be quite structured in my day by blocking out time. So allocating time for prospecting, allocating time for buyer appointments, and then market appraisals and that sort of thing.
Very similar to Amy in terms of working out what your priorities are, what is it that you need to do, what needs to be achieved, what's dollar productive, and just making sure that you're allocating time to do those and having the discipline to actually do that at that specific time. And that sort of flows into my personal life too. Because my role, I'm on the road a lot, so I'm away from home more often than I'm there, which means I've got to have things set in stone so that, in terms of keeping house and housework and that sort of stuff, it's got to be on a routine basis so that it never gets too out of control.
So do you think discipline's like one of the main keys of success? What's another key to success?
I think not being afraid to have a go at something.
Yeah.
Being able to
courage.
being able to jump off the cliff and just have a crack at it. And you know what? If it doesn't work, that's okay. I'll just come at it from another angle.
Yeah, I suppose that keeps life interesting as well.
Sure does.
And how about Amy Kaslar?
Look, I think too, you've got to be really comfortable in dealing with people. You've got to be a really good listener, particularly I think in both sales and across that and property management. You've got to certainly have high energy levels, a lot of enthusiasm. That's what I look for in a lot of my staff. And I guess too, just having that continuity in what you do would be really important.
I suppose both of you are driven by passion underneath underneath it all. Obviously, there's a passion for real estate, but is there a passion in another area that keeps you driven in this? That real estate is a good sort of vehicle for?
Yeah, look, I mean, you're dealing with people's biggest assets, so it's an important decision. A lot of people don't move for 30, 40 years, so that's quite rewarding too, making sure that you help them right through the process. So we do a lot of even purchase and then sale of their home, so that can be quite rewarding. I'm pretty driven on numbers too, a little bit of a competitive streak in me, so all of that's the sort of thing that keeps me going too.
I have to say, I really enjoy helping people achieve their dreams. I've been really fortunate in my career to have been surrounded by some really fantastic people that have never ever hesitated in sharing their knowledge with me. And so I love being able to share that with other people. I also love, in terms of the real estate sense, whether it be property management, whether it be selling, if someone has that dream to go and buy that property or that next investment property, to actually help them do that and help them through that process and make it easy for them.